Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hira Dadia. We have with us Mr. Satish Wagh, Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Loni Wagh, Whole-Time Director, and Mr. Ashish Naik, CFO at Supriya Life Sciences, joining in. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. My first question coming to you is, overall, with regards to where the company goes, if you could just give us a little bit of a background for the viewers as to what the company does and the reason to reach get into an IPO mode.
To talk a little bit about Supriya Life Science Limited, we are one of the leading API manufacturers and exporters from the country. We currently have a product portfolio of about 38 very niche APIs from different therapeutic segments. Antihistamines, anti-allergics, anti-asthmatics, vitamins, and anesthetics are some of the key therapeutic areas that we operate in. We take a lot of pride in saying that we are one of the largest exporters from the country for chlorpheniramine maleate, for ketamine hydrochloride, and for salbutamol sulfate. We have a leadership position for these molecules. As far as the business model of the company goes, we currently have about 77% of the total revenue being generated by exports. We have a global print across 86 countries, catering to more than 1296 customers, and we are spread across different geographies like Latin America, Southeast Asia, North America, Europe. The manufacturing facility itself, which is the key strength of the company, it is audited and approved by the US FDA three times. And we also have regulatory, about 20 odd regulatory authorities that have already audited and approved the sites, the likes of Health Canada, European authorities, Korean FDA. The other key strength that I would like to highlight of the company is the very strong fundamentals of the company and the backward integrated business model that we currently have, that ensures that we don't rely heavily on any external parties, and we've not seen any kind of supply disruption because of this. So, this is just a small brief about the company.
Right. If you could just help us understand details of the IPO in terms of pricing, how much are we looking to raise, and the utilization of funds?
Well, the total IPO size is about 700 crores, out of which 500 crores would be OFS by the promoter. The 200 crores is a primary, it's a fresh issue. The 200 crores would be utilized for capital expenditure. About 92 crores would be utilized for capital expenditure, which would mainly be capacity enhancements and also infrastructural upgrades. About 60 crores would be utilized for certain working capital repayments that the company currently has, and the balance would be utilized for general corporate spends.
See, as
Okay.
far as this working capital is concerned, let me tell you, working capital is the thing which we are using as a packing credit for exports and export bill discounting. These facilities will be surrendering back to the bank, and we utilize our fresh money which has come from the issue. As such, we don't have any debt on our books.
Right. Okay. And overall, in terms of the product portfolio as well, what are the segments that we are, have leadership positions in?
So, antihistamines, anti-asthmatics, anesthetics, these are the three key therapeutic segments that we have a leadership position across the globe. Like I mentioned, the key products chlorpheniramine maleate, salbutamol sulfate, and ketamine hydrochloride. We are one of the largest exporters from India.
Right. And overall, what percentage of our revenues come from exports?
Currently, about 77% of the total revenue is generated from exports.
Okay. And in terms of exports as well, so are we saying that it's mainly ketamine as well as chlorpheniramine? These are the two which are heavily exported from our company?
No, all the 38 APIs that we're currently manufacturing, although we have a leadership position for the top three products, all the other products in the portfolio also are heavily being exported. Since our inception, our chairman has always had a strategy for being more focused on export markets, which is reflected in the company revenues for the last 5-7 years.
Okay. And overall, in terms of where the export markets go, what is the kind of revenue contribution from different regions?
In terms of different regions, I would say Europe is one of the largest regulatory markets that we are currently in. About 17% of the total revenue is coming from Europe. Latin America is another key area that we are currently operating in. About 19% of the total revenue is generated from Latin America. Southeast Asia, I would say around 20%, and China is about 10%. North American markets is about 5 to 8%.
Remainder would be India.
Only 23% is currently coming in from India, and the remainder would be in terms of exports, other countries like Middle Eastern countries, some of the Southeast Asian countries like Bangladesh, and all those countries would be the remainder.
Right.
Supriya currently is present in 86 countries
Hmm.
and having a clientele of 1,300. From the inception from 92, my focus is only exports and earn the precious foreign exchange for this country.
Right. So overall, when you talk about exports as well, what's the kind of revenue that comes to us from the top five clients and customers?
Well, currently the top 10 customers that we have contribute to about 40% of our total revenue. With the new product infusion in the basket, and with the large scale up that we are anticipating for the existing baskets also. I mean, for other than the top three products, there is a group of about 10, 12 products already in the portfolio, where we have been registering these products across regulatory authorities. So I think these other products also would largely contribute to the revenue going forward, and that's the way we are trying to make our product basket more robust.
Right. And overall, in terms of where business is concerned, if you have to look at the manufacturing side of it as well, what's the kind of capacities that we have?
See, currently we were having 325 KLD capacity,
Hmm.
which was a constraint to us. So we recently did 2 years back, which went into operation in the year 2021 June, 215 KLD capacity. So clubbing together, it is roughly around about 525 to 530 KLD capacity.
Okay.
Okay. And what's the utilization that we are working with?
Well, for the 332K, like our chairman mentioned, we were at almost 71% capacity utilization. And considering that it is a multi product facility, we also have to take into account changeover time because we are a CGMP compliant manufacturer. So, for a multi product facility, about 80% would be optimal. Which is why we have added the new block, and this new block has just gone into production. So whatever scale up we envisage for the next couple of years would be taken care of by this new production block.
Okay. And overall, in terms of expansion as well, last I was reading is that you're looking to expand to almost 1,000 plus scale by 2024. How much of this expansion will be done in the current financial year?
Well, out of the 92 crores that we are raising from this, issue, we would be adding another production block that would be, substantially enhancing the 547 KLD capacity. So it's going to
Hmm.
be a very large production block.
Right. And overall, how important is R&D as a part of business, and what are the kind of R&D spends as a percentage of revenues that we do?
Well, the current R&D spend is about 0.8% of our total revenue, mainly because historically the R&D has been focusing on life cycle management of the existing product basket because we have about 38 APIs. And backward integration is one area where Supriya is very, very strong.
Hmm.
And that has been the main focus of the R&D. Going forward, some parts of the proceeds would also be utilized for R&D infrastructural upgrades, and with the new larger R&D coming up, definitely the focus of R&D would now mainly be on introducing new products into the basket. We expect 3 to 4 products every year from new therapies. Also, we would like to explore strongly the CDMO CMO space, so that would be another focus area for the R&D.
Right. I know we can't talk too much of forward-looking numbers as well. However, in terms of growth, uh, are we expecting the CAGR to remain in similar lines that we've seen over the last 2 to 3 years, or do you think it will be better?
Well, definitely. I mean, in the last 3 years, if you look at the revenue, it has gone up from 285 crores to 396 crores, which is at a CAGR of about 17.7%. And the margin itself, the EBITDA has gone up from 72 crores to 178 crores, which is at a CAGR of about 56%. The PAT has also grown at a CAGR of about 77%. We definitely think because of the key strength that the company has and because the fundamentals of the company are so strong,
Hmm.
whatever growth we have seen historically would definitely be sustainable going forward.
Okay. And overall as well, what is the kind of product patterns that we have already?
So currently we have two process patents filed. Like I mentioned that because the main focus of the R&D historically was life cycle management,
Hmm.
they were always working on those lines. But going forward, definitely with the infrastructural upgrades in R&D, R&D would be focusing on all these areas.
Right.
Currently, we have 24 scientists working in the R&D.
Hmm.
Size of the scientists by March will be increasing to 68. So you can understand more concentration on the R&D. There will be two teams around the clock working. We are having 28 fuming hoods. So 14 will be divided into two parts and two teams will be dedicated for that.
Right. Any patents that could be in the pipeline?
At the moment, other than the two that we have already filed for the existing basket, no, we don't have any patents in the pipeline.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Satish Saloni, as well as Mr. Ashish, for joining us on the show. A pleasure to speak to you and get insights from you. Congratulations once again, and good luck for the IPO. And speak to you soon again. And stay safe.
Yes,
Thank
thank you
you
so
very
much.
much for your time also.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.